With the recent 25th anniversary of Spice Girls' second album, Spiceworld, according to Spotify's advertisements, I figured, hey, wasn't there a Spice Girls video game release way back then? And there is. Released during the height of the group's popularity in 1998, Spiceworld is the first and so far only video game to feature and be based on the Spice Girls. Within the span of 2 years, the group had an album, a movie, and a game all called Spiceworld. That's a lot of spice, and maybe even a little too much. After finding success in the Japanese market with Parappa the Rapper in 1997, a game that would help launch the music rhythm genre, it was discovered that the game brought in a new type of player, one that was more casual than the typical player of the time. At the time, Sony Computer Entertainment Europe believed they could take this success into the European market and replicate it, but not with Parappa. Oh no, it would be with the biggest girl group at the time, the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls were more than a group, they were a profitable brand with endorsements and merchandise galore. If their Spiceworld movie could easily sell tickets for theaters, then this game should make those die-hard fans buy PlayStation consoles, right? Spiceworld isn't even something you can consider to be a video game. As the cover says, it's an interactive music experience, and that's putting it lightly. Licensed titles have had a negative reputation, and Spiceworld is a reason why many excellent and enjoyable licensed titles are often overlooked. And this game is the true definition of a cash grab. These cartoon versions of the Spice Girls look like Bratz dolls mutated with their real-life counterparts, but at least they got Victoria Beckham's face right. In fact, all the women look fairly similar to their real-life counterparts despite looking creepy as hell, especially Sporty Spice. And the funny thing is that the developers did originally plan for a more realistic art style with motion capture for the dance moves, but this was changed to the caricatured art style with manually animated moves, which may have been the best option due to the hardware of the time. And on top of that, some of the staff didn't even take the project seriously, and I don't blame them. The developers, the now closed Team Soho, previously made NBA and racing games, so the switch to a flimsy cash grab really was a joke. There is no true story for the game. You don't go on tour, travel the world, and meet fans, nothing like that. The game does have some direction in what order it wants you to perform in. You'll first pick which cringy Spice member you desire, with your ultimate job as a player to get the girls trained and ready for a live TV performance, but the road to the TV performance is a messy, boring struggle. On the first stop for global domination, it's time to remix only one of 5 Spice Girls hits. But before you start that, can we just take a moment and just look at what this instructor is doing with his hands? Yeah, I don't think this was meant to be an innocent, overlooked detail. But moving past that, in this mode you're basically remixing the song, but the end product isn't even going to be remotely good and is going to sound so disjointed, you're going to wonder why you even bothered trying. Each song is split into segments where your chosen Spice Girl will have to jump around and preview and record to create the song the group will dance to. Honestly, just click on random spots instead of perfecting your mix. It's just the start to the giant mess of the big performance, and it only gets worse from here. But what is a song without some dancing? In the next stage, it's time to practice the amazing dance moves the Spice Girls are known for. And remember how I said they decided against motion capture for manual animation? It's here where that choice really shines. There is a dance instructor, and this guy completely talks over the song you just made. He will teach you specific dance moves set within 4 combinations, and I hope you have a really good memory because these dance move combos will play a huge part in the 3rd stage. Now your chosen girl rejoins the rest of the Spice Squad and you will be performing each segment all over again. Only this time you have no indication of what combinations you need to press, so it's all a guessing game to simply find a registered dance move. It's almost ridiculous for the game to want you to remember certain combinations for dance moves that you will likely have forgotten by the time the 2nd stage was over. Once the first girl is done recording her dance, you move on to the next girl, and you can make either a new dance for her or just copy the same moves from the previous, and honestly, just copy. Going through all 5 girls with their own moves while trying to nail down actual dances is frustrating, let alone listening to the sloppy track you made in stage 1. Luckily, the game doesn't care if you don't know the various combinations, so you can breeze through this mode without much issue. And lastly, it's the moment we have all been waiting for, time for the big TV performance. All that training and song mixing has led us to this: camera operator. All the hard work is done, and while the girls are performing, there is no interaction with them whatsoever. No need to press buttons for dance moves, you'll just change the camera's angles and zoom in once in a while, however you want, all so you can have the perfect performance saved to your memory card. This big finale could have had some major interaction, but it's just viewing the routine. You don't even have to do anything. Sadly, what probably makes this game much more desirable for fans to buy are the 10 exclusive interviews the game has with the girls, but nothing is ever said about the game itself, just questions like best director or embarrassing moments. There's more content within these interviews than there is by playing the rest of the game, and that is just super sad. I would love to hear what any member of the Spice Girls thinks of the game itself, or if they have even played the damn thing, and I'm guessing none of them did. And really, that's all there is to this so-called interactive experience. Mix a track, dance alone, dance with the gals, and then go on TV and perform this giant mess for all to see. And you can always go back in with a different Spice Girl and a different song, but that will get super old super quick with a limited track listing and modes. Clearly, this game is utter crap and universally hated by critics and players. I can't imagine getting this game at full price when it launched, and I can only imagine how much it cost back then. Just imagine a young fan getting this game for Christmas and having that special day ruined by this clunky game. Just because a company can make money off of a product or brand doesn't mean it has to be super shallow just to get it out there. Though maybe one of the most amusing features in the game are the cheat codes. There aren't too many, but what they do have will give you a very good laugh. Here we have a code that turns the Spice Girl you chose into a giant, but annoyingly only works on one girl at a time. But having a giant Spice Girl is perfect for the next code, which sees the group huddle around a few handbags in the TV performance. I can't say why they are like that unless it's something the group has done in real life, but it's still very odd. That handbag code also unlocks some new moves in the dance studio, but really what's the point? And probably one of the most popular and maybe iconic cheats you've never heard of, this cheat changes the home screen from the Spice Girls dancing to a picture of the Spice Girls naked behind chairs. It's a bit unsettling, and I'm questioning who this cheat was made for considering the audience. I guess you could say that the game did, in a way, get a spin-off years later in 2010 during the motion gaming craze with the Spice Girls member Scary Spice called Get Fit with Mel B, and I'm just going to assume that the game didn't do so well and no one really wanted to get fit with Mel B. Then in 2021, there were talks of a new Spice Girls game, an online one that would at least feature majority of the group, but as the making of this video, nothing has happened yet. Though I'm going to guess it's probably a mobile game. The irony of all this is that the game almost didn't even come out. Weeks before the game was set to be released, Jerry Halliwell, also known as Ginger Spice, left the Spice Girls. This made Sony panic at the thought of having to revise or pull the game from sales, but Ginger Spice's lawyers gave the okay for her appearance within the game, and the rest is history. But regardless, this is one entry in the expanded Spiceworld universe that should be avoided. Will Spiceworld be your favorite game? No. And at this point, there are probably so many copies just rotting in used game stores with good reason. Spiceworld is best forgotten, and unless you are a super diehard fan, it should remain that way. So I guess let me know if you've ever played Spiceworld and what your thoughts are of the game in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.